So in the last video, I repaired a set of dining room chairs for a client. Now, part of that entire project was, once I delivered the chairs back to the client, was to scuff sand and apply just a fresh coat onto the table to clean it up and kind of rejuvenate the tabletop. It wasn't a complete restoration, it wasn't even a complete strip and refinish. It was literally just a clean it, scuff sand it, and apply a new coat of a water-based top coat. And so I did that. And I stayed for a few minutes after I applied everything, and it looked great. I didn't see any issues. There were no streaks, no dry spots, no anything. It looked good. And I was feeling good about it. And the clients cut me a check, and I took off back home. And then, later in the evening, I get this text message from my client.
Oh no!
So, I don't know what happened. Clearly, there are streaks or dry spots. I don't know. I've got to check it out when I get there. But it's not good. And it's rather embarrassing. I looked it over really thoroughly, as I typically do. So the other glitch to this is that these particular clients live about an hour and 20 minutes away from me. One way. So I'm headed back today to go figure out what's going on, what the issue is, what caused the problem, and then I've got to fix it. So I'm on site, and yeah, I absolutely see what they're talking about. There is clearly streaks going against the grain, on both ends, and there's a few in the center. And initially I couldn't figure out what it was, but I think I have an idea. So the process is really the same as if I was doing it from scratch. I need to scuff sand the top coat down to give the new top coat a little bit of grab, and when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and wipe the entire tabletop down with denatured alcohol to make sure that there are no leftover contaminants on the table itself, and do it again. Fortunately, this isn't really a big problem. The top coat that I'm using is a water-based, so it's going to dry really pretty quickly, and it'll dry crystal clear, which is what they're wanting on this project. So it's a bit of a bummer. When you're self-employed, you have to take care of your clients, and sometimes that means you have to drive 2.5 hours round trip to come and make sure that a job is done right. So even a nunchucks master whacks himself in the jewels sometimes. One thing I don't want to do, of course, is burn through the existing stain, because I don't have any cherry stain with me. So I'm just using the raking light that's coming in from the window to make sure that I'm sanding anything that's going to show. Now this is the final step that I do before I start applying finish. I mean, the vacuum, it gets the bulk of the stuff, but denatured alcohol will not only help collect some of the really fine dust that can otherwise cloud a finish, but it also helps clean off any contaminants that might exist that will not allow the top coat to bond. And I think that's what happened last time. This was actually in the garage, and my client was in there, and she and I were chatting. So this was sitting for a few minutes, and when I came back out, I figured the garage door was open. There was probably maybe some breeze that had blown maybe some dust on it or something, so I decided I would just grab the vacuum real quick and vacuum it off. And I think what happened is because my vacuum, the brush, I had just set it down on the garage floor, landed in some kind of contaminant of some kind, whether it was oil or a little bit of grease or just, garage floors or garage floors. And so when I just did the final real quick vacuuming to get the dust off, I didn't go back and wipe it with alcohol. And I think that's what happened, is the brush actually left some contaminants on there, and then when I applied the water-based top coat, they reacted. And so here we are. Lesson learned, right? So as on some of my previous projects, I'm using General Finishes High Performance. I'm doing this base coat after the sanding in a gloss. That'll help hide a lot of the scratch and the haze, and then I'll go back over it with a semi-gloss. And if you've seen any of my other videos, actually the drop leaf table video, I will put the link to that in the description, and you can click on it above as well. You have to work fast with this stuff. It's a really good product, but you just have to get it on, get it applied, and leave it alone. On large areas like this, you got to work really, really fast. There's no time for farting around. Out, get that raking light in, make sure there are no missed spots or streaks. I mean, if there are some missed spots, you gotta leave them at that point, but at least you can make note of it. Get any drips, anything like that. So again, it's perfectly fine to crosshatch with water-based products, but you just have to do it really fast. Get it on there and then back brush in the direction of the grain. plan on this General Finishes High Performance says, you know, you can recoat. I believe it says 2 hours. This has not been 2 hours. However, these conditions are also much drier with a lot more airflow rolling through with the air conditioner on than kind of your average standard situation. So I have used this product enough, and I've done these projects enough times that I can get a feel for when the product itself is cool with another coat. So the table has a total of 3 brand new coats on it. You know, the first one, you know, it's just the base coat to get rid of all the scratches, the sanding marks, everything else. I was gonna just do 2 coats, which just wanted to make sure that this was all good and sound for them. So I did a grand total of 3 coats, and it looks great. I'm gonna hang out here for a few minutes and make sure that nothing crazy is gonna show up like it did last time. And that's it. Gonna pack up my stuff and head back to the shop. So it is 93 degrees right now, and I figured I'd just make a quick pit stop and get something to eat and get something cold to drink and have a very brief discussion about, I guess, what it is to make mistakes. I mean, we all do it in our personal life, but I think it's really important to address mistakes in your professional life. So for instance, with this table, I didn't apply the finish any differently than I always do. It was just a situation. Something had gotten on the brush of my vacuum, but the situation still remains. It wasn't what my client wanted. There were clear spots that needed repaired, and it was my responsibility to go back and do it. Now, the bummer is that I didn't make any extra money fixing it. In fact, this whole situation actually cost me quite a bit of money. The original bid was for a scuff sand and a real quick 1 coat to kind of clean the tabletop up. Nothing major. This was not a refinish by any means. And in the end, they ended up getting 5 coats of finish. I'm very happy to have done that for them, but it just shows that there are times that you just have to suck it up. You have to do what you have to do, and you have to do it to the best of your ability. And I mean, that goes for anything in life, really. So I think, in closing, my point is mistakes happen. Whether it's something you do, whether it's something that happens, that's life. That's life. That's business. We're human. We make mistakes. But I think what's important is how you handle those mistakes. Now, with all that being said, my drink is here. So I'm going to go ahead and rest my bruised ego, cool down, and beer. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you to all the new subscribers that I got last week. If you haven't subscribed, I would really encourage you to do so. And as always, I love getting comments. Feel free to leave those. I will put links to all the videos I discussed in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.